Hi, I'm Mara Di Matteo, and today I'm going to make an Italian breakfast cake. This is called Sbriciolona. Sbriciolona comes from the word briciola, which means crumb in Italian. So we're actually making like a deconstructed crostata, but in a very simple rustic manner by crumbling the dough on top of it and actually patting the bottom in instead of rolling it out. So you can consider this like an easier way of making a crostata. Very simple. This recipe is on the internet everywhere, many recipes, not just this one. This is just a simple one that I found, and it also reminds me of the cakes that my mother used to make when I was a kid. This is perfect for breakfast. You know I love to eat sweets for breakfast. That's what most Italians do, just a little sweet. But let's get started. Here we have a lemon, which I already started peeling. Half of this lemon we're going to peel like this with my favorite tool of the trade, the microplane. Nothing peels lemon as good as this one. This is absolutely perfect. So we're going to do this, finish it up a little bit. Okay, so here's the peel of half a lemon. I'm going to put it aside. And now I'm going to squeeze the lemon and only use half of it. You just need a little bit of the acidity for the cake because we are using baking soda. So when you use baking soda, you always want an acidic ingredient in it that helps the cake rise. So here we go. You can also use this for the lemon, which is what I use most of the time. You just put it here and squeeze it like this, and then you strain it because the seeds will go through. So this is ready. The peel is ready. Now we have butter. We have eggs. This is salt. We're not going to use all of this. Sugar, flour, jam, and baking soda, simple baking soda. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the dry ingredients in a mixer. Just throw them all in very simply. Don't go crazy. Don't worry so much. This is a very simple breakfast thing. It's not a French patisserie. So here we go. All the flour is in here. Now we're going to add the sugar. This is, by the way, there's 2 cups and 3/4 of flour. This is 3/4 of a cup of sugar. The recipe is on my website, so don't worry. You can have all the information. A pinch of salt, just a good pinch of salt like this. I use sea salt. I always use sea salt for baking and cooking because it's much better. Now we're going to add, it has more flavor and it's actually better for you. I'm going to add the lemon peel to this. Here we go. You can do this in a food processor too, but it's so much easier to clean a mixer than the food processor with a blade, so I prefer to use a mixer. This has been my best friend for a very long time. Now I have the butter. This is a stick of butter, all cut up, not cold, not warm. It's sort of in between. It doesn't really matter. Again, this is a very simple cake. You don't have to go so crazy. Now I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to mix it up. Okay, you just let it work. Now I have here, when this is working, I have here the cake pan I'm going to use. It's actually like a 9-inch pie pan, which I've already buttered, as you can see. Now, I have made it in this Italian aluminum pan, which is very, very thin. The scratch, it gets dented, but it works like a charm. I love this. I don't use it very often, but I made this briciolona and this cake, and it came out perfect. But because I'm trying to have, all of you find materials that you can easily access, here we have a regular pie pan. It works either way. Now my mother used this kind of pan, very cheap, you can find anywhere on the market street, to make all the cakes that she made. She would make a crostata in this. She would make a pane degli angeli. She would make a pan di Spagna. She used this for everything, and it always came out great. The only other baking pan she had was like a ring pan with a hole in the middle to make the ciambella romagnola. But usually this was the pan she used. So here it is. But for the purpose of this recipe, an American recipe, I'm using this. By the way, I have, all of this was measured in grams. Right here, I use a scale. I have transformed everything into cups because it will make it easier for everybody to use here. See, I'm turning this into crumbs. It's supposed to be very crumbly. And the butter is working out very well with this. That's why it should not be too hot, too warm, or too cold. Just, you know, a little cool room temperature. So it's making it's making briciola, exactly. It's making crumbs. That's what is happening right here. So now I'm going to lower this. No, it's the other way. And I'm going to be adding the lemon juice. Where's the lemon juice? It's in juice a half a lemon. Here we go. And oh, I just realized I forgot to add the baking soda. No big thing. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. Throw it in. Remember, this is very simple. You don't have to stress. And I'm going to add the eggs one at a time. One. And if by accident they both fall in, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Again, we're using a very simple recipe that anybody can make. One is being blended in, add the other. Okay. Yes, coming out nice and yellow. Now, you can use different flavorings if you want. You want to use a little orange peel instead of a lemon peel? That would be fine. You can also use, instead of jam, you can use Nutella or something else. Whatever. It's really up to you. Okay, I'm done here, so I'm going to put this here. How quickly that was done. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put the dough in here. Just to help myself a little bit, I add a little bit of flour here. Okay, so that it's easier to move around. The flour is your friend. Okay, now we're gonna get this out of here. And you use your hands because they are the best tool always. Here we go. See, this is just like a very simple pasta frolla, but it is it's made not until, where is my spatula? Here it is. Until it's completely blended in. It's more rustic. Here we go. This is the dough. The dough is ready. Can you put it in the refrigerator and use it later? Sure you can. It might even actually help for the top because this is going to be sort of sticky as I pat it in a pan because it's soft. But don't go crazy. Again, we're keeping it very simple here. Okay, so a little flour on my hands always helps. Okay, just move it up a little bit. Now we're going to separate into two parts. Okay, so about half. About. Don't worry so much. Okay, move things around here. We're going to spread this. Now, a crostata, you will roll it out and you would be, you know, measuring it to make sure there's a certain size. So if it's this one, you just spread. That's why you need the flour, see? You need the flour so it helps you to spread this out. Actually, I'm going to take a little more flour. Okay, right here. Not too much, but just enough so that you can spread it out nicely. Here we go. Doesn't have to go all the way up. Not at all. Not at all. It's going to stay on the bottom. Maybe slightly up the sides. Just a little bit. So, see how simple this is? Okay, it's pretty much done. Now, I am going to take, okay, clean my hands. The flour is also good to get the dough off your hands. I'm going to take this jam. This is, use good quality jam. Now, this is, where did I put my spoon? Oh, I'm gonna get another spoon. Here we are. This is Trader Joe's. Trader Joe is not a sponsor, okay? I just happen to like Trader Joe. Feel free to sponsor me. I'd be happy if you want to do that. But here we are. So I'm going to take this, like 1, 2, they're huge spoonfuls, so very heavy. 3 and 4. Let's try with this. Now this is cherries. Look at this. You can see the whole cherry. That's why I love this jam. You spread it out. Try not to go to the very edge so it doesn't come out and stick to the pan. It will make it a little harder to remove. But here we go. Okay, we're going to do this. Should we add a little more? I think so. I love jam. You can use apricot jam. You can use blueberry, strawberry, whatever you like. In Italy also was used a lot oh, I said that, apricot, right? Apricot is very common, and cherry. I happen to love cherry jam, so I always use it the most. You can put Nutella, as I was saying before. You can spread it with Nutella. Just make sure it doesn't come through the very end here, otherwise it will leak out and make a mess. I love jam. I'm a jam person, so I'm happy with this. Now, I'm going to take the rest of the dough, and just do this. Look, throw it on top. See how simple it is? Just throw it on top, like this. Dump it in. Don't go crazy. Big, small crumbs, it doesn't matter. It's a perfectly rustic, peasant-like Italian breakfast dish. This is going to be our breakfast for tomorrow, which is Sunday. So it's our Sunday breakfast. Very simple. It's a great thing to do on a winter day like today. It's snowing outside. And actually we're having a blizzard. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's still coming down. It's going to be snowing for hours. But I don't care because I've got my kitchen. I got my oven. I got all my beautiful baking equipment that makes me happy. And I can cook and I can bake and I can do all of these wonderful things. Very domestic things. Yes, I can be very domestic too. I do like to go shoe shopping, but that's something else that I like to do. Right now I'm stuck in the house with the snow and I'm baking. Almost there. Okay, Sbriciolata, crumbs. Probably similar to an American crumble, I think. Right, there's a dessert called crumble. Yes, there is. It's just very simple stuff that anybody can make very quickly. And this dough is so good. It's between, like pasta frolla is like between pie dough and cookie dough because it has a large amount of butter in it, but the eggs make it softer. And that's why it's it doesn't have the structure like pâte brisée. It's a little softer, a little harder to roll out sometimes. You have to add more flour. Oh, look, we're just about done here, okay? Now, I'm going to put this in the oven at 375 degrees, and I'm gonna bake it for about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna take it out, let it cool, sprinkle some confectioner's sugar on top. I actually use the zucchero vanigliato, which is Italian vanilla flavored powdered sugar. And then I'll cut it. So we're going to stop here because I'm going to put it in the oven, and then I'll take it out and I'll show you. Mar di Sandro De Matteo. Go to my website, MaraWriter.com, for a lot of cooking videos and baking videos, blogs in both English and Italian about growing up in Italy and my life here. So I think you find something interesting no matter what you're looking for. But again, this is going to be on my website. And I'll see you in a few minutes. Here's this Sbriciolata. It's ready. It's out of the oven. It's still a little warm, so I'm not going to attempt to cutting it now because I don't want it to be a mess. You really need it to have a completely room temperature. But look what I'm going to do. I'm going to add confectioner's sugar because most pastries in Italy, actually in Europe in general, are always finished up with confectioner's sugar because it looks more elegant and more complete. Now I like to use this. This is zucchero al velo pane angeli, which I get in Italy. And it's vanilla flavor. It's really good. However, if you don't have this, just use regular confectioner's sugar. So I just put a little bit in here. And, you know, just put a veil of it, un velo, come una specie di nevicata, like a little snow fall, gentle. Okay, all done. So, when it's cooled off completely at room temperature, you can cut it and eat it. You can have it with coffee, or if you prefer, you can have it with some kind of prosecco or champagne, which is always good. So you can have, not for breakfast though, okay? This would be in the evening or in the late afternoon, you can have it with wine. So please go to my website, MaraWriter.com, where you will find a lot of baking and cooking videos. And by the way, I just finished my cookbook, which is about growing up in Italy. It's recipes with stories of my childhood and my adolescence in Italy. So you will find it very interesting. It's very different. It's not published yet because I'm waiting for the right publisher. So right publisher, if you're watching this, please come forth, contact me, and we'll talk. This book is going to be different than any other cookbook that you have out right now because I wrote and it's very personal. So please go to my website, MaraWriter.com, and here's your Sbriciolata, one of the most simple dishes that you can make for breakfast. Ciao, sono Mara di Sandro De Matteo.